when reality unravels. A psychotic episode is not simply madness. It's the rupture of reality's organizing principles. Words, once anchors of certainty, drift away. Familiar stories lose their hold. The world, once legible, becomes alien. Our stories smooth over cracks in perception. They give events shape and allow reality to be tolerated. At best, stories offer truth, meaning, connectedness. But every narrative also casts shadows, blind spots we call the unconscious. The horror between friends. When narrative collapses, the psyche loses its script. Unstructured and exposed, it floods with fragments, memories, fears, and noise. Horror slips in. Hallucinations and delusions aren't random, they're improvisations, attempts to piece together meaning where meaning has failed. The mirror cracks. In Lacan's mirror stage, here in the imaginary, image is everything. Infancy is chaos, a fragmented body. But the mirror offers unity, a fiction that becomes identity. We judge all experience against this image. What fits is self-evident. What doesn't? Stress, misrecognition, and denial. In psychosis, the mirror shatters. The fiction ruptures. The image no longer holds. The director has left the set. Our minds function like staged plays and films. We cast the characters, write the script, and critique the performances. But when psychosis hits, the director vanishes. Scenes unfold without context. Words scatter. Trivialities from the outside world seize control. Experience blurs. Self dissolves. We become pure perception, unguarded, improvised, astonished. Language, liberation, and madness. Words give structure. They let us fantasize, reflect, and choose. To feel normal is to rehearse these stories with comfort and control. Inside our heads, we generate worlds. Language becomes mental nourishment. Reflection becomes empowerment. Yet this freedom comes with danger. Too many stories, too much choice, too little cohesion, and we can tip into madness. The same liberty that allows meaning making can collapse into manifest psychosis. An unmistakable boundary must occur when we leave infancy and enter language. This is the place where we first experience the no from the big other. It is important that we traverse this and become initiated into the field of language, rules, and society. This is key to a normal neurotic life. Trauma as prelude. Environment plays a bigger role than we once knew. Early adversities, abuse, neglect, bullying, they can reshape our perception. They twist the script before it is written. These experiences embed deep patterns that later fracture the narrative. Psychosis doesn't appear in isolation. It is brewed in the crucible of past injuries. When words vanish. Language is our tool for reflection, for fantasy, and for meaning making. People who feel normal find safety here in stories they tell and retell, crafting versions of reality that reassure and empower. They play with words, shape variations, generate mental food. Reflection thrives in this loop, and with it, the sense of control. But that control is fragile. Language can mislead, overwhelm, and dissolve into noise. Too much freedom, too many possibilities can push the psyche to its limit. Madness doesn't always scream. Sometimes it begins as a whisper of too many words and too little cohesion. The cinematic self. In Lacan's view, image precedes identity. Infants encounter themselves as fragmented. The mirror promises coherence, a fiction we adopt as self-image. But contradictions stress the system. We misrecognize. Reality is judged by whether it fits our internal fiction. Experience that doesn't, it becomes repressed, ignored, denied. We direct our own film, cast, crew, script, and critic. We imagine life in frames, edited, scored, reviewed. At night, dreams run the projector. Scenes spill into surreal improvisations. But during psychosis, the director quits. No one edits. No one narrates. Just flickering chaos. The reel unspools. When the script collapses, life loses shape. Words scatter across a barren inner landscape. Trivialities from the outside world feel urgent and invasive. The self blurs. The observer dissolves. Thoughts loop and sensation amplifies. We follow the impulses without context, without direction. Psychosis is not just a symptom. It's the moment the internal cinema goes dark. The screen shows only static. It's not that nothing is real. It's that everything is too real, too raw, too unfiltered to organize. This is the cinema of psychosis. At best, we may stumble upon it in our life, understand it, and then find our way through it. It is the place where we go past our known limits and experience a form of madness, and we can return with a deeper sense of ourselves and the possibilities of the human psyche. It can open us up to a deeper, richer, and ultimately more creative life. Beyond the edge of reason lies a strange clearing. Madness, for all its devastation, can open a door into a wilder freedom. A freedom that loosens the old stories and lets new ones breathe. To survive such a passage is to discover that the psyche is larger, more inventive, and more alive than we ever imagined.